In a world full of harem protags, one man stands tall. With 100 girlfriends, yes, he's dating them all. The latest chapter greets us with another soulmate entwined, a tale of girlfriend 31, who's one of a kind. By day she's quite gloomy, a narcoleptic no doubt, and only in dreams does she recall from her blackout. So join me as I dive in, the story gets deep, to meet the girl who crafts shoes in her sleep. I'm Moonlight150, your narrator for this review of Chapter 195, but that you already knew. But before we can begin, a bit of information. Be sure to support the official release, as well as the scanlation. For the team works hard to bring us these pages, and they do all that for us without any wages. Now with the formality covered, it is time to begin. The latest chapter of the manga that gives other rom-coms quite the spin. Okay, that's as far as I can get. I'm not doing this entire review in rhyme, as fun as that would be. But without a funny intro for this video, I would be lost out at sea. Wait. Am I still rhyming? I swear that wasn't intentional. To do a whole video in rhyme would be surely unconventional. Make it stop! I don't want to rhyme! But I can't seem to stop! I'm doing it all the time! Quick, start the review. Maybe the curse won't follow me there. One could only hope that's the case, otherwise all that's left for me will be... despair! Ah! Make it stop! I gotta get out of here before I... The chapter opens with Rentaro on his own yet again. Almost like we haven't seen the setup in about, I'd say, 9 chapters, 18 chapters, or even 27 chapters. You would think at this point Rentaro or one of his girlfriends would realize that every time Rentaro is left to his own devices, he comes back with another girlfriend. Eventually someone is going to propose at least one girlfriend must be with him at all times to prevent him from adding any more. But today is not that day as Rentaro is heading home to study, when he comes across a construction site and a girl wobbling towards it, where an old man is maliciously just pointing his drill that will pierce the heavens.
That's how a drill works!
Rentaro stops the girl from walking to her demise at the hands of someone who really needs to retire already. The girl turns around and, like clockwork, the two zing as the girl claims that she is just very sleepy. Meet Nemu, Nemui, a second-year student in middle school. Also, I'm just now thinking about this. Do kids in Japan normally introduce themselves with their grade without being asked? Or is this just a manga and anime thing? After thanking Rentaro for saving her, Nemu explains why she is always sleepy, because she works in her grandparents' shoemaking business as a cobbler. And recently her grandparents have gone slower in their old age, so she's been picking up the slack because she would be devastated if the shop closed up. Rentaro now worried that she's overworking herself, but Nemu reassures Rentaro that everything is fine because tiny little elves have been helping her finish her work while she slept. Much like the fairy tale, The Elves and the Shoemaker, like Rentaro pointed out. Oh Meru of the Fourth Wall, share us your fairy tale wisdom. And Meru does just that, breaking the fourth wall to give us a summary of the fairy tale. And it lines up exactly with Nemu's current situation of 3 elves who help a shoemaker complete his work while he slept. Consumed by exhaustion, Nemu falls to the ground and says that this is normal for her, so Rentaro doesn't need to worry or hang around. But Rentaro, being the man that he is, isn't about to let a girl just sleep in the middle of the road, so he offers to carry her to a bench somewhere. Before she conks out, she contemplates why this guy who came out of nowhere is being so nice to her. But before she can get far with that thought, she passes out in the street. Now finally in her happy place of sleeping, Rentaro ponders where to take her so she can finish her nap. But then suddenly Nemu gets up while still sleeping and snoring away, and takes Rentaro by the hand and begins leading him elsewhere. Rentaro, now shocked at the advanced sleepwalking that is now going on, and asks her to stop. But it appears in her sleepwalking mode, she is much more forward, as she convinces Rentaro through pantomiming that she wants to go somewhere. Cue a cute date montage of getting somewhere to eat, playing at the arcade. Wait, is that 8-bit Pentaro? Haven't seen that bugger in a hot minute. And doing a photo op in a booth as well as some arcade fun. Eventually they find themselves at the park that Rentaro meant to take to her originally, where Nemu awakens from her slumber of a nap, saying that she dreamt that they went on a date at the arcade, where she admits that she's a bit of a sleepwalker, which, yeah, I think we figured that out. But it turns out that things she does while she is sleepwalking is seen as a dream to her. This is further cemented when she admits that she also dreams of making shoes every night, deconfirming the existence of elves making the shoes for her. I mean, we also have the existence of aliens and devil fruits, but shoemaking elves would be a step too far, I guess, huh, Nakamura? Nemu then admits that her grandparents used to have those dreams too, confirming that sleepwalking is apparently hereditary. Much like I guess being a tsundere is hereditary in this universe. Rentaro then debates whether to tell her that her sleepwalking and her dreams are one and the same, and contemplating the possibility of elves existing. After a day with Rentaro, Nemu accepts that she's begun to like him, but chickens out of a confession in the moment, and then comes up with the backup plan to show how she feels with what she does best, and that's make him some shoes and ask if they can see each other at an undisclosed amount of time later. That following night, Nemu works hard on her gift for Rentaro, even fighting off her want to go to sleep, because she's so determined to do this for Rentaro and not let the elves work on this pair of shoes for her. Look at this little goober pinching herself awake for the sake of her crush, it's adorable. She's so precious, I like her already. The next day the two meet up at the park, but Nemu gets cold feet before being able to confess, or even give Rentaro the shoes. She then panics so much from the stress of confessing that she falls asleep? Yeah, that makes sense. When I'm stressed out and full of anxiety, what I do immediately next is take a nap.
Zenitsu! Are you... He's asleep.
Okay, fair enough. Also, I have to say, she must be one damn good cobbler that she was able to eye Rentaro's shoe size and make those shoes for him. But that's assuming that they fit. We don't actually see him try them on. But as Rentaro is distracted by the gift of shoes, Nemu the Bold goes in for a quick kiss and into full confession mode with some heart signs and even more kissing, breaking any kind of record of a new girlfriend kissing Rentaro in their introduction chapter. Wasn't expecting the middle school cobbler to take that title. But all this excitement snapped her out of her sleeping trance, and she says she had some spicy dream of making out with Rentaro by like, a lot. And she realizes that she has given Rentaro the shoes in her sleep, which she is pleased about that she was able to at least do that, even if she felt like she couldn't work up the courage to confess. We're getting farther away from sleepwalking and more into split personality / coping mechanism territory with this one. She then goes on a spiel of how she's a gloomy and cold person because of how tired she is, but in her dreams she's a cheerful girl, and that's why she likes sleeping and dreaming. And Rentaro counters that he likes the Nemu that made him the shoes because that she's not in any way less charming because of it, and then proceeds to ask Nemu to go out with him. And then Nemu becomes the most realist person by thinking Rentaro asking her out is a dream, a thought I'm sure many of us have had. But in lieu of it being a dream, Nemu decides to roll with it and go all out with a full-out confession out of sleep mode, and another kiss on top of that. You go, girl. But then is remiss that all of this must be a dream, which Rentaro then spends the time to tell her that it isn't a dream, and then the both of them panic realizing how real everything is. Wish we could have seen those panels, honestly. And that's Girlfriend 31 in the books, and the final girlfriend of 2024. Honestly, Nemu here feels like one of the tamer girlfriends we have had in a while, with her personality and odd quirk not being as boisterous as some of the other recent girlfriends. I do look forward to future chapters where shenanigans are happening on the school rooftop, and we just see Nemu napping away in the corner. It's going to be a great visual gag. She is also on the taller side, especially for a middle schooler. I thought she was another first year like Rentaro when I first saw her before the rough translations came out, saying she was in middle school along with Uto and Rin. And one last observation is that she has a bit of Hikari in her design, particularly in the face, especially in this shot. But that we can just chalk up to all of these characters coming from one illustrator, so characters are bound to look similar every once in a while. But it's on to the Meet the Family chapter next week. There's no break next week, which makes the back-to-back break weeks in between the intro to Saki chapters just hurt that much more. But I am predicting a break week after the snooze fest we are going to be getting next week. So along with the eventual break week bonus video, we got another chapter of I Can't Choose a Childhood Friend, and I've been asked to cover the web shorts that the author posted, so I'll be taking a stab at covering those too. I've got a lot to do and I need to get to it, so be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to know when all of those come out. I've been Moonlight150, and I will see you all on the next video.